Hello, my name is Montana Sosha, and I'm here to talk about the Dispositions Self-Assessment survey that I took. We have 3 questions to go over, and the first one is, what dispositions do you possess that make you a successful teacher? Every single one of these, after reading them carefully, I checked strongly agree on every single one of them because I truly do think that I possess all of these dispositions, and it really does make you a better educator if you follow along with these. I will go over some examples of the ones that stood out to me the most. The first one being that educators should believe that all students can learn and should set and support realistic expectations for student success. This past school year, I had a couple of kids with IEPs, and our course load that we had in first grade was very rigorous, and it was a lot of worksheets, and after a couple of weeks of knowing these kids, I knew what they could do and what they could not do. So part of what I did is I would do small groups with them to make sure that they were getting the exposure that they needed and learning what they needed to learn. And also, the assignments were very long, and I know them, so I cut the assignments in half to make sure that they were still doing somewhat, and making sure that they weren't getting flustered or frustrated, because once that happens, the brain shuts down. Also, changing spelling words, especially with that, the kids were not at the skill level where they needed to be, so I would create a whole new spelling list for them to make sure that they were starting at the level where they are, and we could just go up from there. The second question is, what dispositions do you need to work on to grow? So every single one of these I did click strongly agree because I do feel as I possess them. But there is one that stood out to me the most that I agree with. I just need to work on a tad bit. Educators should promote and support curiosity and encourage active inquiry. During this past school year, I was not giving my students the chance to ask questions and be curious, especially during math lessons. And my principal noticed this, and it is something that we talked about, and I had no idea I wasn't doing it. When she told me, I was shocked, and then I thought about it, and I wasn't giving them the opportunity. So I went in there and I implemented this disposition, and I saw that it made a world of difference. It made math lessons better, and I feel as a little light clicked on in their brains, and it did help them think a little deeper. So that is something that I worked on this past year, and that I will continue to work on to make sure that my students are learning and getting what they need. The third question is, what does a professional educator look like and how do they behave? Number one, as an educator and as a professional, we need to make sure we are coming to work looking professional. That's actually where it starts. You can dress comfy, but make sure that you look like you're ready for the day. It's also important to make sure that as an educator, you are modeling the correct behavior, because even if you don't think so, you are being watched 24/7. These kids, some of them will look up to you and consider you a role model. So how you act, they will start. So they are sort of like mirroring you. So you need to make sure that you are setting a good example. For example, if there is a dispute in class with another student, you never want to go to that student's level. You need to remain calm, have a level head, and use your words. And the students will see this, and then they will model it if they have a dispute at some point. It's very, very important that you are putting out what you want to receive. Also, making sure that you care about what you are doing. Students will know if you don't care about what you're teaching. They won't care. You need to make sure that you are being engaging and showing that this lesson that you're teaching is important and it's exciting, so the kids will be excited. But looking back at all of these, I do truly think that I possess every single one of these dispositions, and they are what I will be working on the rest of my career and making sure that I am as professional as I can be.